Hi everyone, welcome back. This is our 30-minute slot on artificial intelligence conversations. Um, we've had a rather dull, wet day here in Sydney today, and the mindset strategy we focused on today was about integrating kindness in everything that we did. Um, as you're aware, the format of the session is 10 minutes I give you content on artificial intelligence, and then 20 minutes I take questions. Who am I? I'm Afroz Hoodley. For those of you all who have never had the opportunity to interact with me, I have had a stellar stint in the corporate world with Accenture, serving Fortune 500s across verticals, and then branched out, took on my first board position, making me the youngest board director Australia has. And along with it, I rolled out my own company. In fact, the company Syndicate came into being because of the conversations I did have with board directors across different companies here in Australia, because they were not thinking about leveraging AI to position their business, right? And that is how it all started. And the reason I'm doing these lives, couple of reasons. One is mindset strategy. Given COVID, I think all of us can benefit from it, and why not, right? And I do coach people in the corporate world. I've been doing that for over two years now. So absolutely making that those strategies available to you, and then doing these 30 minutes because people have been reaching out to me over WhatsApp, and the questions you'll have are very similar. So let's have those conversations around artificial intelligence here together and grow together. That's the driver of these series, right? So today we'll focus on a question that has come in, and the question was, so day before yesterday, we started out with artificial intelligence, understanding the big picture, understanding the big five under the umbrella of artificial intelligence, and then we dived into machine learning yesterday, which is one of the big five components. Now, the question was, does that then mean we can add intelligence to all machines? Is that possible? Or are there exceptions to the rule? So pretty much everything that we have built, we can integrate intelligence into, okay? Because we today have the processing bar, we have the expertise in electronics at the chip level, right? Not just the processing bar, but also the at the chip level, being able to create the right chips to capture that intelligence and to process that intelligence and then to execute on that intelligence, right? So from a embedded system standpoint, absolutely, we are, the research is there. There are companies spending, investing in creating faster processors, faster chips, so that the processing power keeps improving. Here's what is required though. Single-handedly, your data dictates the quality of intelligence you add to your systems. Okay, so if you as a company do not have and or haven't invested over the years in collection of data, your ability to embed intelligence in your in whichever system you're trying to add intelligence to is not going to be possible. Okay, which then brings us to the question on what kind of data and how do I go about collecting data, and do all machines require similar kind of data? The kind of data you need is dictated by the problem you're trying to solve. Okay, so when I say kind of data, I'm talking about the features of that data. So does the data just have to be an employee data, or is it just customer based data? Is it just spend, or is it also about the product itself? All of those questions come second. It's first, what problem are you trying to solve? Okay, you need to be able to take it from there. Now, once you have zeroed in on the problem that you're trying to solve, from there, defining what data, so what fields within your data you need to capture is the second step in the equation. So even before you actually go out and collect that data, once you've identified what fields of data you are looking to have, so that you can integrate intelligence, whether it's in a business process, whether it's in a machine, you then take a step back and ask yourself, have we actually been collecting this data over time, right? If we have been collecting this data, do our databases currently have that data for us to leverage, right? And most organizations, if your organization is big, most organizations, what they do is go out and buy different businesses. At the end of 10 years, you have like 2,000 plus applications, each having their own database, and somehow your architects have done an excellent job of making all of these talk to each other without understanding whether there's duplication, whether there is uncongruent or incongruent data. So database A says XYZ has ABC, database B says XYZ has PQR, right? So it doesn't work. So you really need, there's that entire process around data strategy, data architecture, being able to identify your sources of data as well. So there may be 25 different databases in your landscape. Do you need to access data from all 25, or does the one database have all the data that you need to create the intelligence that you're looking to integrate into your machine? So all of these things are steps, right? So see how we didn't jump directly into the data. We first zeroed in on the problem definition. So the scope of what you're trying to solve, the clarity on what problem are we trying to solve, right, dictates the kind of data you need to collect and leverage to integrate intelligence in your model, in your machine, in your robo, right? If it's a robotic arm, it's that robotic arm. So from a standpoint of, can you impart data to every machine? Absolutely you can, provided you have the data to train the system, right? It all comes down to your ability to train the system. What does that mean? If today you and I, we know this is a ball, right? If we didn't know this was a ball, let's say this was an object from outer space, right? If we are studying it for the first time, we don't have enough data on it, right? So someone will have discovered it, and whoever discovers it would have researched it and then made observations on it and made deductions based on those observations and given it a name, right? So, and that's from that point on, once it has been named, we all refer to it as ball, okay? So fortunately for you and I, someone has already done the work and called it a ball, and over the years we've used the terminology ball, and we all understand it's a spherical object. We play with it. They come in different sizes. The smaller ones are generally for cricket or tennis. The bigger ones are for football, soccer, rugby, right? So the point I'm trying to make is, unless you have enough data on the object that you're trying to study, you do not, there's no way to train ourselves, right? So if you cannot train a human being in it, you cannot train a machine in it, okay? So anything that has not yet been discovered or invented and or is in the pipeline of being researched is not fully known and understood to humans. So you cannot train a machine on it, okay? But having said that, can a machine make intelligent inferences which then feed back into our intellect for thought processing? Absolutely, that absolutely can be done. For instance, financial stock markets, you create a model, an artificial intelligence model. It does some predictions. You don't have to execute on it. You can study those predictions and then base your strategy on those predictions made, right? So it's about that entire ecosystem of you leveraging technology and assisting your business grow, and or in this case your portfolio, personal portfolio grow, right? So in terms of intelligence built into a model, sorry, you need to be able to leverage it intelligently. So out of Boston, the doctors had a AI model that assisted them identify if the patient has cancer or not. Now, they obviously the model was not 100%. Okay, and I say obviously because AI models do not tend to be 100%, because there is always going to be that degree of inaccuracy created by human biases and or our error in terms of setting up the model, right? How we train the model. So, and always keep that at the back of your mind, always, okay? Don't just blindly make leverage AI and or for that matter any technology. Use your intellect, okay? Always. It's really, really important. And they did use the system blindly and then incorrectly identified patients who did not have cancer to have cancer and vice versa. So eventually the system has been withdrawn. And it took time for the doctors to understand that, hang on, there are these errors, and it came out after the fact, right? When they had observed it over two years and different doctors had used the system. The point I'm trying to make is, whilst intelligence can be imparted to your business processes, to models, through models, they are not here to replace humans, okay? Your basic common sense is super important and will always be important. And that goes back to the conversation I had with you yesterday in terms of jobs being lost. Absolutely not. You will have more jobs, if anything, but different skills, okay? On that note, I will wrap up today's session. Have a great day ahead and come back tomorrow and or send me your question, and then we can build the conversation on the question that you do ask, okay? But I'm not taking individual questions on WhatsApp, just so that we're clear. And yeah, come back tomorrow and let's keep having these conversations and let's grow together. Have an outstanding, fabulous day ahead. I will catch you tomorrow. Take very good care of yourself and stay safe.